And loading is complete. Now I just need to hook up back to the trailer and secure this thing and put my flags on, my signs, because it's an oversized load. Just wanted to show you guys quickly how to secure this stuff. Basically, I was just looking for some scratches from, see how people secure this. You always look for signs, something unfamiliar, you look for signs, and if you see some wear and tear that looks like chains have been used, that's what I did, So I found somebody used it over here, so I put the chain over here. Then of course I put chains on the tracks, but I couldn't tighten them too tight because these are very weak tracks. They're small, and then I was looking, and so over there, and so 3 on each side. It's only 40,000 pounds. But one thing that I also wanted to point out is that machinery like this, you always have to pay attention to hydraulics. And despite what many people think, you actually have to be smart to be a trucker, especially when you do heavy haul. Because look at this. I'm looking here and I see this arm and I don't like it. Like, what is this arm doing here, right? And you can see that it's over there, it can turn. So this whole thing, this whole assembly can flip this way. So, imagine I'm driving, if I don't secure this whole banana, that might catch some people by surprise, who are next to me in the lane. Especially I'll be in the curb lane, so there'll be some people over here, and imagine this thing swings, right? So right away I went over there and I saw there were actually marks in there, So like I said, you look for marks. That tells you how they secured this. Okay, so I secured this. All right, this is good. And then I started driving just basically inside this yard. Inside, this is a Ritchie Brothers auction. And right away I noticed that this whole thing was moving. This top part. What? I thought there was a support in there, but turns out because I pulled the chain on this end, this thing came up and it was all moving. It was all shaking, So I had to stop and climb on the top and put some protection under my strap over there, because that's some edgy, sharp edges over there. And I ran a strap like this, and of course I twisted it, put half a twist on this, otherwise it'll start jumping and hitting this, and by the time you do like 100 miles your strap will be destroyed, So you put half a twist on both of them, and then of course tie down the end, and this is it. But the most difficult part was loading this, because the seat is the position of the seat is kind of unusual, not like in an excavator. So I had to, as you saw, I had to climb out a bunch of times and check my position of the tracks. And on the final load, and of course you put flags on all things that stick out. Like for example, on this side, on the passenger side, if you can see it in the mirror, it's all legal. It's all inside. No, actually, wait. There's a walkway. Walkway with a little ladder that sticks out. So I put a flag on that one. But on this side, there's a whole bunch of cables and that boom. So I put one flag on the top in case some tall trucks are passing me, and one flag at the bottom. And just basically use some common sense. But I was going through the checkout. There's like a little temporary building over there, like a modular building. You have to check in and check out. So I was going through there, and there's a very attractive lady over there, maybe like in her 40s, but still looking very good. Nice nails, and and she was smiling. So I was, she looks at this machine, right? It's a drill rig, right? And I said, before I was leaving, I said, do you need anything to drill in your backyard? And she looks at me and she starts laughing, and she says, that's sounds so wrong, but no, I don't. But thank you for the kind offer. And I pointed to the machine. I said, well, I have the equipment, right? So now we're both laughing. and I left. So that's it. So now I'm just heading back to my yard, because today's Friday and this machine goes to Montreal, Quebec for Monday 11 o'clock, and it's only 450 miles, so I'm gonna leave Sunday. So now I have to go back and fix this. Basically, my Mac this week has been giving me all kinds of trouble, right? After shocks, my steering became too sensitive. It's very hard to steer, so I have to do alignment. Like, not hard to steer, it's like not hard to turn the steering wheel, but you have to watch where you're going, because the truck like basically drifts, you know? I mean, not by itself, but you just have to make very tiny movements with the steering wheel. So basically my like there's no free play, you know what I mean? Like, something happened with after they changed the shocks, and then I had to fix my Honda, right? I broke the pull cord. Turns out there was a voltage distributor all rusted, and because of that the battery wasn't charging. Basically they fixed that, so now the Honda starts with a key. Beautiful, even in this cold weather. But this check engine light came on yesterday, and they did the diagnostics, and they said that there's something with the emission system. And right away I noticed this. My coolant, I've been running like this, no, slightly higher, maybe 160 when I'm empty, 175 when I'm loaded, which is below the usual limit. Usually this engine runs hot, around 200 F, and at first I was actually concerned about this, if you remember my first videos when I got this truck, because this is higher than my previous International that didn't have DEF. So this one usually runs around 200 F, and all of a sudden I see it's 175. So I'm pretty sure that one of the thermostats on the cooling system shut down, closed, you know, and because of that it keeps cooling. Probably the coolant goes on a longer route, or whatever the technology they use to, like, no fan, but it just it happened to me on an International, but that was like 4 years down the road. Like, this is just over a year, and all of a sudden it's all because of this cold, you know. The truck was sitting for 2 weeks, and it was minus 15 Celsius, which is like single digits F. So now I booked an appointment, so now I'm gonna drop this baby in my yard and just drive like 2 kilometers to the Mac dealer in Cambridge, and they said they're gonna fix this. Okay, Sergey out. Thanks for watching.